everybody, this is Mira. Welcome to Q&A Thursday, and today's question is something that I get asked quite a bit. So I have the question right up here on my phone, and the question is, how do you differentiate between your Instagram content, your email, your blog content, or maybe even your YouTube channel? Alright, so basically you might have a couple of content channels, maybe you have a social media channel, and you have another main content channel. It could be a YouTube channel or a blog. How do you know what goes into each one of them? And how do you create content such that your audience doesn't really get bored, right? So you're not saying the same thing in every single place. So any content that you share on any content channel is likely to fall into one of these 5 main categories, all right? So the first category here, and I'm just going to pull it up on my phone, is education. So if you have watched any of my other videos, or if you've read any of my books, I always say that educating is the new selling. So when you educate your audience, you bring awareness to the problem that you're solving, you bring awareness to how your products and services might be of service to them, right? So what comes under education? So under education, you could have how-tos. This is a very, very common piece of content. You could have case studies. You could have answers to FAQs, kind of like what I'm doing right now. Okay, you could also have tips or research pieces that you can share as well. Now, the next category is conversation. So what comes under conversation? This could be any kind of aha moments that you're sharing with your audience, any kind of myth or mistake kind of content that you're sharing. Maybe you want to get them to look at a different perspective. Maybe you're trying to point out the flaw or any kind of thinking that you don't really agree with in your niche. All right, all of this comes under conversation. So if you are on my email list, you know that this is my primary content category when it comes to email. So a lot of the content that I share in email has to do with these kind of content pieces in the conversation category. But if you look at my blog, the primary content category for my blog is the education category. So I do a lot of how-to, I share a lot of tips, and then there are lots of listicles that I share as well. You've got 1 to 10 ways of doing something, or 1 to 10 ways of solving certain things. All right, so that is the education category, and that is the primary category for my blog. Now, the other content category is inspiration. So these are quotes that you can have. This could be trivia or amazing facts. Okay, you could also share kind of client success stories, personal stories, things like that. Alright, the next category is entertainment. So these are memes, jokes that you can have, maybe even contests, giveaways, stories. Now, there might be overlaps between different content categories, and this is perfectly fine. As long as you know the difference between each of those categories and how you're going to use them for the different content channels, that is perfectly okay. Alright, you don't have to go by the hard and fast rule of what I'm sharing with you today. So the very last category is connection. So this is, behind the scenes, what's going on in your life, any kind of personal stories that you may have had, things that you've tried, things that didn't work for you. These come under connection. Okay, so you've got education, conversation, inspiration, entertainment, and connection. So any content piece that is out there is likely to fall within one of these categories. Okay, so like I mentioned, pick a primary and a secondary content category for that channel. So for my blog, the primary one is education, and the secondary piece might be something else. But for email, the primary one is conversation. The secondary content category might be perhaps education or something else. And the same thing goes for a YouTube channel. So this is how I kind of differentiate between each of those different content channels so that your audience gets a different perspective of your brand. And each of these different perspectives or each of these different views adds up to the brand experience that someone gets from you, right, in the online space. So from someone that encounters your brand in the online space, they look at you at this content channel, and then they come and consume your content somewhere else, or they see your content somewhere else. Each of them gives a little glimpse into your brand, and it adds up to the brand experience. And that is exactly what you want to do. So I hope this gives you kind of an insight into how you can differentiate between each of your content channels. If you like this video, give me a like, hit the subscribe button, and I will see you in my next video. Remember, I have Q&As every single Thursday.